Good evening, everyone. I am so excited to have you all on here tonight for a bunch of different reasons, but mainly because this is a very special workshop series that our team leaders have come together and put together to help you have the success that you would like to have in the fall. So Dawn Ferreira, most of you know, who is going to share with us with our first workshop tonight. And let me just tell you a couple of things about Dawn that you may not know. I've had the pleasure of working with Dawn for 25 years. She started in 1998. This already in 2023, she has $90,438 in sales. I'm going to stop because I want that to sink in. Already this year, she has done $90,000 in sales. That's 86 parties, which means her average is $1,051.60. Totally incredible, you guys. Totally incredible. She earned Excellence Award in organizational sales as well as personal sales this year. She has four new team members. Dawn is a $2.6 million sales achiever in career sales, and she's also part of the 200 Career Club. So, it's like when E.F. Hutton speaks, this is Dawn, she's speaking. You need to write down everything she tells you, and then you need to go do it. So I am just so thrilled, Dawn, that you're sharing your expertise with us tonight, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm excited to be here with y'all tonight.
Oh,
and those of you,
I forgot to tell everybody one thing. Anybody want to think how much Dawn has already made this year, income wise? Anybody want to guess what her income has been already? I know everybody's probably muted. Okay.
70,000.
How much?
70.
Pretty not too far. $58,000 already this year. So again, if you're looking for some extra income to make your family goals a reality, you're in the right place tonight. So I'm sorry, Dawn, go ahead and take it away.
Okay, great. Well, I'm so excited to be here with all of you tonight. As Karen said, 25 years in the business, never dreamed that would happen. I did not come here for a lifelong career, and very quickly thought Pampered Chef was not for me because I am not a person of many words. I am quite shy. I'm not a huge talker, but I will tell you, Pampered Chef has truly been a life changer for me. It has allowed me to have everything I wanted in my life. It has allowed us the extra income, the flexibility, and I am so thankful for all that Pampered Chef has offered. I'm excited tonight to share with you. I will tell you, if you came here looking for a secret, it is not a secret. This is easy, and anybody can do whatever you want in this business if you are just willing to work for it. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about tonight. I just want to start with mindset, though, because I can give you a whole list of activities that you can do to get bookings on your calendar. But if you do not start with mindset, it is just like building a house with no foundation. What is going to happen to that house over time? It doesn't matter how fancy it is. Doesn't matter how many great things it has. If you don't start with that foundation, eventually that house is going to come down. And that's kind of what I believe about bookings and your business. If you don't start with that foundation, and that foundation is mindset, you have got to change your mindset. And the first way you do that is, guys, you have to find a why. Why are you here? What is it that brought you to Pampered Chef or keeps you in Pampered Chef? What is it that you want Pampered Chef to offer to your life? That why should be really, really strong, and it should get you right here in the heart. It should really make you cry. And those of you that know me well know that I say, if your why does not make you cry, you should find a new why. Your why should be that strong. You should be that tied to that why. So that to me is the first place you have to start to get your mindset right. Why am I here? What do I want from this Pampered Chef business? Probably most of us started to make some extra income, but that is not enough, guys. You have to say, why do I need extra income? How is that extra income going to impact my life? For me, yes, I wanted to give up my teaching job and I wanted to have a little income for our family that would allow me to put my family first. But when I dig in deep, Pampered Chef lets me be the CEO of my life. And yes, that income is an important part of that, but the most important part of that is that I get to be in control of my life. Nobody else tells me how to live my life. I get to do that. And that is such a privilege. So find your why. That is the first thing in your mindset. The second thing is every day you get to make a choice. And you're going to hear me say get to a lot tonight, because everything in life we either get to do or we have to do. And when we change the way that we look at that, it changes our perspective. So I get to make a choice every day. Am I going to keep going or am I going to quit? And you get to make that choice every single day as well. Are you going to keep going or are you going to quit? And as one of my friends just told me, quitting is not an option. And I want you to remember that same thing. Quitting is not an option. The next thing is you have to believe in what you are offering. Our team's name is Team Believe because this business is all about belief. You have to believe in this industry. You have to believe in Pampered Chef as a company. You have to believe in our hosting program. You have to believe in our opportunity. You have to believe in our products and that they can make a difference. And you have to believe in others and yourself. And probably the hardest of all of those is that belief in yourself. You have to truly believe that you can have whatever you want in this business. And again, you have to believe that what you're offering to other people is going to make a positive impact on their life. That is where you will see bookings galore, when you have that belief and you share that belief with other people. The next thing you need to do in your mindset is you need to fall in love with the Pampered Chef and the products that we offer. If you do not feel like you are truly in love with this company and these products, you are going to have a really hard time selling that to other people. If you are not on mute, if you would hit mute, I'm hearing some background noise and it's not giving me an option to mute people. So if you are not on mute, could you mute yourself now, please? Thank you. So you want to fall in love with your products and fall in love with Pampered Chef. How do you fall in love with the products? You put them in your kitchen and you use them. And as you use those products and you see how they make your life in the kitchen easier, you will fall in love, and then you will know how to share that with other people. You cannot just talk about what's in the catalog or what's on the website. You've got to use those products and fall in love with them every day. The next thing you have to do is you have to know the difference between two D words. And we talked about this at our team meeting on Saturday: determination and desperation. There is a fine line between those two words. And I'm going to give you a few words to think about. Actually, I'm going to hold this up. I think y'all can see this. So these are the words that we talked about at the meeting on Saturday. If you are desperate, you tend to be scared, you tend to be needy and pushy, and you lack confidence. You are not trustworthy, you are salesy, and it's all about helping you. Have y'all ever felt desperate in your business? We all get there. We look at our calendar, it's August 7th, and we see nothing on the calendar. Desperation kicks in, and we just do whatever it takes. We're like, I just got to get some parties on my calendar. But you have to back up for a minute, and you have to remember that it is not about you. It is about what you have to offer other people. And you have to flip that desperation over to determination. And determination is when you are more like a servant. What can I do for you? What can I offer to you? How can I make your life easier? When you are determined, you are authentic, you are sincere, you're a problem solver, you're confident. And guys, when you're confident, then people have confidence in you. If you do not love your product, love your company, believe in what you're offering, then that lack of confidence is very evident to people that you encounter. You need a genuine enthusiasm. You need to be flexible. And you want to use words like, wouldn't it be fun? And I'd love to. Instead of, will you do me a favor? I need help. You want to keep it all about the other person. So I want you to remember those desperation words and those determination words. And when you begin to feel that desperation coming out, you got to flip the switch and say, this is not going to work. No desperation. I've got to change that into determination. And then the last thing I want you to remember, that negativity is going to put you out of business. We all get into that, right? Something happens and we tend to get negative. And when we get negative, it is like a downward spiral. I say something negative and then my negativity grows even stronger. And it's hard to come out of that. But you've got to remember that negativity truly will put you out of business. And if you can't get yourself out of it, then reach out. We used to call that an elevator call. Call me, text me and say, hey, Dawn, I need an elevator call. I am down here in the depths of negativity and I need an elevator call. And we are going to bring you back up to that positive place that you need to be. So mindset is where you have to start if you want a calendar full of bookings. Now let's talk about bookings. Once you got that mindset where it's supposed to be, how are you going to get bookings on your calendar? How do you get started? The first place you want to get started is you want to set a goal. How many parties am I going to do every single month? And that is the only thing you want to know. Do not let any of that negativity come in like, well, how many do I think I can really get on my calendar? How many people are going to say yes? How many parties do you want to have? And I know Karen says, if you knew you could not fail and bookings were falling from the sky, how many would you have on your calendar? That's your magic number. And you want to write that down. You want to put that really big somewhere that you can see it. The next thing you want to do is you want to start making a list of people. For me, and there's lots of different ways to do this. Y'all all know about the Frank's list. When I started, they said a list of 100, and I said, I don't know 100 people. But really, you would be surprised at how many people you know. I like to tell people to do 3 circles. So your inner circle, those are the people that you know the best. That's your sister, that's your best friend, that's your aunt, that's your mom. That's those people that are the very closest to you. Your next circle are those people that you're close to, but maybe you don't have regular contact with them. Maybe you're talking to them once a month. They're your friend from church. Maybe you're seeing them at church, but you're not doing things outside. Or it's your hairdresser, things like that. And then your last circle, this is where you want to spend the bulk of your time. These are your finances. These are the people that you don't see on a regular basis, that you don't talk to on a regular basis. Karen, can you mute? There's somebody that's got background noise and it's not letting me mute them. Thank you. So you want to really focus on that outer circle, your acquaintances. And the reason is because when you do a party with somebody that you don't know well, you are not going to know anybody at that party. And that is when your business will begin to explode. So whether it's a Frank's list, whether it's a list of 100, whether it's that inner circle, middle circle, outer circle, whatever it is, you want to come up with as many names as you can. Just start brainstorming. And remember, no prejudging. Do not stop and think, would this person do a party? Do they like to cook? Do they hate to cook? No prejudging. You are literally just brain dumping as many names as you can come up with. The next thing I want you to do, and this is something that we quite often miss the boat on. You are the very best host that you have. And you can have your own party as often as you want. So every single month, you should be having your own party. And that is a way, when you reach out to somebody and they're not ready to have a party, you immediately say, well, I'm having a party Thursday night at 7 o'clock at my house. I'd love for you to come be part of that. Or I'm having an online fundraiser this week. Can I add you to that group? So when you have your own party every month, then that always gives you another option to share with somebody when they're no, not right now. Vendor events, another great way to expand that circle of people. A lot of you feel like vendor events are selling opportunities. I am going to tell you, and most of my team knows this, when they call me and say, what's your take on vendor events? I said, number one, it's not a selling opportunity. It is a networking opportunity. It is a time for you to reach out and meet new people. And number two, if you are not going to schedule time to follow up, then you are wasting your time and your money. Because when you go to a vendor event, you have a very small period of time that you are exposed to that person. You have got to follow up with them so that you can build that relationship and make that connection stronger. So those are the two things I'll tell you about vendor events. I always say, look for something that's very low cost and something that's going to give you as much exposure as possible. You want to go out and you want to meet people. You want to sell yourself, because that's the number one thing that you're selling in this business, guys. You are selling your authentic self. People are going to fall in love with you, and they're going to want to do business with you because they like you and they trust you. And it's easier to gain that trust when you actually make that connection and build that relationship with someone. Another thing I want you to remember in how to get started is diversity in party styles. We have so many ways to party. When I started 25 years ago, it was a cooking party or an old-fashioned catalog party. You give them a catalog and order forms, and you go to their house and physically pick up the order forms, because we didn't have any other way to share that information. That was about it as far as party styles. We have so many ways to party now. And Belinda Ellsworth taught me this. She said, when you are in direct sales, you need to know about all the different ways to party. Now, what you're going to find is that you typically are going to be drawn to certain types of parties more than other people. I'm an in-home party person. That is my preferred way to party. Does that mean I don't do virtual parties? No, I still will do a virtual party. I know how to do a virtual party. I am efficient in virtual parties, but it is not my favorite. We need to be efficient in all the different party styles so that as we meet people, we can meet their needs, because everybody's needs are different. Not everyone's going to want to open up their home. So what are you willing to do so that you can appeal to a larger group of people? Another thing that I have found with bookings is incentives. and incentives are temporary. That's one thing that I had to learn a long time ago, that you incentivize something that you want to increase in your business. So if you are struggling with bookings, you want to find some type of incentive that's going to get your bookings where you want them to be. And once you get there, you can pull that incentive back. It's not something you have to do forever. It's a temporary way to get your calendar where you want it to be. And tons of different incentives out there. One I love to do, and this is, you can do it virtually or in person, it's an envelope. And you put a product in an envelope and seal it. On the outside of the envelope, you put a date. And when they choose a date, they get to get that envelope and open it up. And when they have their party and it qualifies, they get that extra free gift from you. So just something small that is going to encourage people. Sometimes it will push them over the edge. If they are sitting on the fence, like, do I have a party? Do I not have a party? Being able to choose that envelope. And I love that it's a hidden gift, because curiosity, that a lot of times will help them grab that date and take it, because they're curious. What's in here? What am I going to get? So that's fun. Gift bags, I have always loved doing that. Make some pretty gift bags. And again, you can do that virtually as well as in person, but make some pretty gift bags. Again, curiosity kills the cat. What's in that gift bag? I want that. It's pretty. It's fun. And when I book a party, I'm going to get what's in that bag. It may be extra free product value, whatever your choice is on an incentive, but incentivize what you want to grow in your business. And remember, that is something that doesn't have to go forever and ever and ever. It can be a temporary thing. And then I think the most important thing in getting bookings, and this is the one that is really hard to teach, you have to build a desire. You have to create enthusiasm. When people see how excited you are about this party, they want to be part of that. They want to do that themselves, because that enthusiasm is contagious. So fake it. If you don't have it, you fake it. Do whatever you got to do to be enthusiastic, over the top. Sometimes you're even going to feel silly that you are so enthusiastic, but people want to be a part of that. They do not want to be a part of somebody that is down in the dumps, that is over there. I need help, please. I don't have any bookings on my calendar. Who can help me by having a party? Nobody wants to party with somebody like that. But people want to party when you say, oh my goodness, I love pampering my host, and I have just a couple of dates available this month and would love the opportunity to get you on one of those 2 dates. So what I've done is, not only have I created a desire, but I have also created a sense of urgency, not desperation, but urgency. I didn't say my calendar's wide open. I only have a couple of dates available. Hurry, get on my calendar now. Now, let me tell you a secret. If your calendar's empty, nobody needs to know that. You do not go share that. You still let them know that your calendar is full, and you are going to find a time to squeeze them in, because that sense of urgency is going to help them go ahead and get on your calendar. Okay, so those are some things that are going to help you get started. The one thing I want you to remember, guys, is that when you set that goal, that magic number, you have to make a plan and do whatever it takes. WIT, write that in big capital letters. Whatever it takes. If I say 8 parties, I am not going to stop until I get those 8 parties on my calendar. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get those 8 parties on my calendar. And I'm going to say 8, and you heard us say that for this program. And I'm going to tell you why. When I started years and years ago, consistency was the secret to success. And it has not changed in 25 years. And I would bet if we ask Karen, who has been with Pampered Chef longer than anybody on this call, she would say the same thing: consistency. And the reason is because the more we do something, the better we get at it. And the better we get at it, the more we're able to do. So you have to keep that consistency going. So 8 parties is super important because it's keeping you consistent in your business. You're out there and you're doing it. And I don't know about y'all, but when I go a week without a party, I tend to be a little rusty. And I've done a lot of parties over the years, but my skills are a little rusty when I go a week or 2 without having a party. I also find that I am not as motivated. When my calendar is not where it needs to be, my motivation really begins to lag behind. So that consistency of parties on your calendar every single week is going to keep your motivation high. It's going to keep your enthusiasm high. And we already talked about that's where bookings come from, right? So that 8 parties a month, the reason we're saying that is because it is that consistency. It's enough to keep your business going. So I would say aim for that. Really shoot for that. It's 2 a week. I don't know about y'all, but anybody that has a part-time job, I promise you they are working more than 2 nights a week from 6 to 9 for a part-time job. So that is still very part-time in this business. And I just want to remind you to focus on parties, because that is what this business is built on. Anybody can sell. Anybody can go out there and sell, but parties is what is going to build your business, because that's where you meet new people and you make new connections and you build new relationships. And that's where you're going to find that this business truly does begin to explode. So focus on parties. Now I want y'all to take out a piece of paper real quick. We're going to do a quick little exercise, and then I'm going to give you some homework to do between now and next week. So I want you to just draw a line right down the center of your paper. And on one side, I want you to write 2 at the top. And on the other side, I want you to write 1 at the top. And I'm gonna give y'all a little break tonight. We're just gonna talk about 6 parties a month. So any of you that are a little scared of 8 parties a month, we're just gonna do a little exercise with 6 parties a month. So on the left-hand side of your paper, I want you to write 6, and on the right hand, write 6. Now we all know that we are an appointment-based business. And what that means is that we are going to have movement. People get sick. People have other things that get in the way, and we're going to have cancellations, and we're going to have movements. And you have to just understand that. It is the nature of this business. So under that 6, for both of those, I want you to subtract 2. And that's cancellations or movements on your calendar. So now, how many parties are you doing? 4. Good. Y'all are good at math tonight. Great job. So each of those, you've done 4 parties. Now on the left side, I want you to multiply 4 times 2. And you should get 8. On the right side, I want you to multiply 4 times 1. And you should get 4. Now I want you to draw a line. That's month 1. That's August. Everybody on here booked 6 parties for August. You all had 2 cancellations. The ones on the left side got 2 bookings at every party. The ones on the right side only got 1 booking at each party. Do you see what happened? Now we're going to go into September. Left, you have how many parties in September? 8, right? So write 8 on the left side. On the right side, you have 4. Now I want you to subtract 2 again, because we know we're an appointment-based business and we're going to lose parties. On the left side, how many shows are left? 6. On the right side, there are only 2 parties left. Now again, we're going to multiply. On the left side, 2 bookings, so 6 times 2 is 12. On the right side, 1 booking, 2 times 1 is 2. Is anybody seeing something here? Let's draw a line again. Now we're going into October. So our 2 booking people are going into October with 12 parties on your calendar. I want to see with a show of hands, who would love to have 12 parties on your calendar? Would that make you happy if you pulled up your calendar and saw 12 dates? That is so exciting. Now let's look at the left side, or the right side, excuse me. Y'all are going into October with 2 parties on your calendar. What begins to happen when we see just 2 parties on our calendar? Little desperation? Little negativity? So let's do the math again. We're going to subtract 2 from each side. On the left side, we're going to be left with 10. Again, I'd be happy if I had 10 shows that held every single month, right? On the right side, how many are left when you have 2 cancellations? A big fat 0. So guys, tell me what you are feeling about this exercise. 2 bookings per party, you are now looking at 20 shows on your calendar. 1 booking per party, you are out of business in 3 months. How does that make you feel? Have you ever been in that place where you had to restart and restart and restart and restart? It is not a good feeling. So we talked about how to get your calendar where you want it. Now you want to be sure that you're getting 2 bookings no matter what from every single party. And again, WIT, that's our word, whatever it takes. So when I have a party tonight and I come home with no bookings on my calendar, if I'm going to follow that WIT, then I'm going to do whatever it takes to get 2 parties on my calendar to attach to that party. Now that means instead of working with those 10 people that were in that party or at that party, now I've got to reach out and do a little more cold calling to get those bookings on my calendar. It is much easier to book parties at parties. So when you get that calendar where you want it to be, you do whatever it takes to get 2 bookings from every party. Was that a good visual? Did that help you understand how important that is in your business? Enough, guys. The concept of enough. When you are in front of enough people, when you have enough bookings, then your business is going to grow and it's going to be exactly where you want it to be. So I hope tonight you have taken away at least 1 or 2 things that are going to make it a little bit easier to get your calendar where you want it to be. But the thing you have to remember is that you have to want it, and you have to be determined to do whatever it takes to get where you want to be in this business, and then be determined to do whatever it takes to keep that consistency going month after month after month. Know your calendar, be aware of what it looks like, and constantly working to build that calendar. So I've got some homework for you tonight, and then we'll open it up and y'all can ask any questions. So this is your homework for the next week. We'll meet back here next Monday night at 7:30 for our second call. But your homework this week is to work on bookings, because remember, when we have bookings on our calendar, we get to practice all the other stuff. So the first thing is set your August party goal. How many parties will you have in August? And if you're on my team, you know that I do not allow you to say, I would like to, I'm going to try, it would be nice if. You say, I will have 12 parties in August, period. Write it down. Once you've determined that, reach out to your director and share that goal with them. Our job is to support you, to encourage you, and to be right beside you as you are working towards your personal goals. So share that with your director. The next thing, and this might be a little bit hard, but as Carol Radu said at conference, and y'all have heard me say it about 8,000 times now, if you want to be successful in this business, you have to work hard. But it is not hard work. I do not have to go outside and scale trees like my 24-year-old son does in 100-degree weather. I do not have to stay up all night like my 28-year-old son does and make sure that everybody's safe as they turn traffic on the highway. I don't have to go out and dig ditches. It is just about reaching out and connecting with people and having parties. Is that hard? No, but I have to work at it. So I want you to take your party goal and I want you to multiply that number by 10. So if your goal's 8, you're going to multiply it by 10. That's 80. That is how many people you need to reach out to this week. It is all about enough. It is about connecting with enough people. We know they're not all going to say yes, right? You're going to get more no's than yeses, and you've got to be reaching out to enough people. And now to make that doable, you're going to decide how many days are you going to work this week. Are you working 5 days? Then divide that number by 5. And that's going to tell you how many people you need to reach out and connect with every single day. And remember, whatever it takes. And remember, when negativity finds its way into your business, you are out of business. So you're going to keep that positivity moving forward, and you're going to focus on reaching out to those numbers of people. And I will promise you that you will not recognize your business. You're going to come back next week and say, Dawn, you were right. And I'm going to say, praise the Lord, hallelujah. You live for the day that your children say that, right? So that's kind of how I feel. I live for the day that you say, Dawn, you were right. It does work. And it does. It is a proven formula that if you do it, if you work it, and you truly love what you do, your business will show it. So who's ready? Y'all ready to go out there and change your mindset and fill your calendar and make August amazing? I know you can do it. And as we always say, if you struggle believing in yourself, don't worry, because we are right here believing in you until you can believe in yourself. So we'll open it up. If anybody has any questions or feedback, feel free to jump in and ask.
I love what you said, and I'm really glad you mentioned the Carol thing, because that was the first thing I was going to say about, it is hard. It's hard work, but it's not hard. So we just have to do it. But Dawn, I got to say, for all of you that may not know, what is so admirable about what Dawn does, that she has this, a remarkable business, but she does not live, eat, and drink Pampered Chef. She works her business consistently, and so if you listen to what she's telling you, it's going to make a huge difference in your business. So thank you, Dawn. So, hey, anybody got questions? Let's go for it.
Hi, Dawn. This is Shirley.
Hey, Shirley, how are you?
A little overwhelmed.
Did I give you too much information tonight?
A little bit. So I started selling Pampered Chef 3 years ago. And then my daughter got hospitalized, so I gave up on Pampered Chef. I put in just enough money every month out of my checking account to stay active. And, it's my dog sneaking up on me. That scared me. So I'm basically, I want to say a new consultant, but I work full time as a teacher when we're starting school in like 2 weeks. And the thought of 8 bookings a month gives me a full blown and anxiety attack.
Okay.
Like there'd be no, my husband would be like, "You are who? Do you live here?"
Mhm.
So there's got to be like, I want to have parties, and I live in a tiny little town in Montana. Um, and so I don't know how to divide that back up to make it like a bite size.
Okay. And Shirley, you are exactly right. Not everybody is going to want to do 8 parties a month, and that is okay. That is perfectly okay. But consistency is super, super important. So if you want to do 4 parties a month, that's 1 a week. You want to be sure that you're consistently working the business because it's easier. And that's the part people don't understand. They think, I just can't handle doing 8 parties a month. I'm just going to do one, maybe 1 a month, maybe 1 every other month. I will tell you what I have found. You are going to work a lot harder than I work. And the reason is because every time you go to do a party, you got to start from scratch. I always tell people, I am aimed and ready to do a party at any moment. If you called me right now and said, Dawn, my consultant is sick and cannot do my party tonight, I could be at your house in 10 minutes ready to have a party. Because I'm working my business consistently, I am always ready to roll. So it's easier to run the business. So I hear what you're saying. And again, pull that number back if you feel more comfortable with a lower number, Shirley. But going out and consistently working the business is going to make it a lot easier to run the business than just sporadically doing parties. Does that make sense?
Like I have 2 fundraisers going right now, and I'm just pleased as punch about just having those.
Then, and again, that's the beauty of this business, is that we all get to set our own personal goal. And if that is your personal goal, then you go and you make sure that you're meeting that goal every single month, because your goal is what you want to achieve in this business, not Dawn's goal or Karen's goal. Okay.
Yeah, and if your goal is leadership, if your goal is to build a team, that does tweak it just a little bit too.
I don't want to go high, you know. I think director would be just about where I think my life could take.
And I will say for directors, and I highly recommend this, as a director, I feel like you do need to be doing 8 parties a month. Because number 1, you're setting the pace for your team. And number 2, you have to stay in front of enough people. And 2 parties a month is not giving you enough people. For example, when I told you tonight, take your goal and multiply it times 10. And I had a director on my team that I shared this years ago. And she was completely overwhelmed because she wanted 8 parties on her calendar and she had none. So I gave her this formula, and she had 80 people to reach out to. Well, I had 3 cooking parties that week, and I had 15 at each party. That was 45 people that I got to reach out to a whole lot quicker and a whole lot easier than personally reaching out to them. So again, those parties keep you in front of enough people and help you build that. So leadership, I do highly recommend 8 parties a month. And that's something that one-on-one, Shirley, your director can help you with, figuring out time-wise how to make that doable for you. Okay? So that it's not so overwhelming. That's a great question, though, and I'm so glad you brought it up, because I think so many people think the same way and they're afraid to ask. So thank you for stepping out and asking. And congratulations for being here. That's the first step, right?
Right.
Engaging and being part of the training. So good job. Any other questions? Y'all are just ready to go start working, aren't you? Everybody's ready to start implementing all these strategies and making your business amazing.
Go make dinner. It's 6 o'clock.
Oh, I was gonna say it's 8:15 here. We've already eaten dinner.
Not in Montana.
Not in Montana. All right.
Whatever it takes, right? Whatever it takes.
That's right. That's right. Any other questions?
You know, I've got a funny story for you because you were talking, I mean, somebody asked a question, just to interrupt me, but I have to tell you, you talk about working hard. I did a farmer's market on Saturday. There was no rain predicted at all. We got hammered. It was just miserable. I have to tell you, that was hard work because I have to dry everything out. I mean, everything. All of my product is wet. My boxes are wet. It was, so there you go, guys. Whatever it takes.
That's right. Whatever it takes. I know y'all can do it, and I hope you will work your plan this week. Make your plan and work your plan, and come back next week ready to celebrate. One thing that I always talk to my team about, and I want you to always remember this: every day, get up, and the first thing you do is, what am I proudest of in my business today? You cannot go backwards. You can't say, oh, I'm not proud of anything. Every day you have to start your day. What am I proudest of? It might be that you managed to put one foot in front of the other, and that is something to celebrate. So every day celebrate something and keep moving forward. Keep putting one foot in front of the other. And as somebody gave me early on in my business, a little plaque that was framed, and it said, one party at the time. And that's what it takes, one party at the time. So go do it. Go have a great week. Fill your calendar with bookings, and don't hesitate to reach out to us personally. If you're struggling and you're not getting the results, reach out. We're here to help you through all those struggles. Okay. All right, guys, y'all have a great week. Thanks for joining tonight.
I'm proud of y'all for being here. Thanks, Dawn.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye for now.